Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this panel discussion on developing for the world from Delhi. And since the big morning today, we have been hearing about how India is growing as a very big market for games across the world and making a significant contribution in the whole gaming economy. Well, in Delhi, we have a running joke that we make games in Delhi and then we go to Bangalore to sell them and to get publishers, right? So the objective of the conversion today is that still a reality? And if yes, how do we address it? What sort of challenges we face here in Delhi and how we can, as a community of game developers within Delhi NCR, solve it. And I think this IGDC Dev Day is a great initiative because this is something that's happening in Delhi for the first time. And it's building a platform where we can start bringing about this change. So I'm Kinshuk Sunil, your moderator for this panel. And I'm the co-founder of a new studio called Second Quest. And I have a very distinguished panel with me. I'll quickly invite Dipender, Akhilesh, and Damini to quickly introduce themselves and talk about their studios and the games that they're building for the world from Delhi.
Hey guys, I'm Dipender Kaushik. I'm running a small studio called Dunali Games, and we are based in Gurgaon, and actually all across India because most of the team is work from home, and we are basically working on a very innovative title called Tale of Honor, which has taken the traditional game of chess and moved it from a turn-based strategy game to a real-time stealth adventure game. And we are targeting that game to go on all the platforms from consoles to PCs and mobile. That's our flagship game. Apart from that, we have been working on very small titles, and being a bootstrap studio, we have to work on a lot of things. So yeah, that's about us.
Akhilesh?
Hello. Works. So I founded Immersive Art Studio, which is less than a kilometer away from here. And we've been working on a grand strategy game for PC hardcore audience. Very niche genre, primarily targeting Northern America and Western Europe markets. Grand strategy games tend to be very information and feedback heavy. So our focus is on innovating on UX to make it a lot more easier to get into and more immersive, less text and less read, less academic when you're playing it. So similar games in our space would be Paradox titles. I wonder how many of you know that here. Mostly when I speak with people, no one's aware of games like Hearts of Iron 4, Crusader Kings 3, Europa Universalis. These are big selling games in this space with 5, 10, 15 million copies at $40 to $60 price points. So yeah, that's what Immersive Art Studio does.
All right, yeah, works also. Hi everyone, good afternoon, great being here. So I'm Damini Pahwa, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Appsoleut Games. We're a mobile gaming studio based out of Gurgaon. We complete 10 years this year, which has been pretty incredible journey. Thank you all so much. So yeah, it's been a great journey, and we basically create casual driving simulation games with large 3D open world, with racing and a lot of interaction where the players can actually get off their cars and interact and all of that. Yeah, and we've been building a new game now for the past almost 2 years now. And we're hoping to push it out very soon to our audience, our global audience. We focus on tier 1 countries. And our flagship game at the moment is Car Parking Driving School. And that's been pretty popular for us. It's been in the top 30 in tier 1 regions, across most of them. So yeah, that's us. Yeah.
So Damini, let me start with you. Over the decade, you've seen this landscape evolve a lot. So is it still real that we are too far away from the ecosystem in Bangalore?
So I guess when we began, we were a little far, but we are pretty proud to develop and publish our own games. And so I would sort of refute when you say that we have to go to Bangalore to get a publisher. No, we're publishers ourselves, and we've been doing all right. So yeah, it's been a journey. Yes, I mean not anymore actually. Not anymore.
So what key challenges have been addressed? What are still something that we need to address for Delhi NCR?
Initially, yes, there was a major issue about hiring. We've been talking about skill gap and stuff like that. But over the years, I would say being in Delhi, we're more a center to attract a lot of people not living in Delhi but around. So, you know, the northern region, we've got a lot of developers and artists, etc., coming into us from Jaipur, from UP. So, I mean, the landscape for the smaller cities is also changing, and they're coming more towards Delhi. And yeah, and I'm also seeing another trend where initially a lot of these ace developers wanted to, they sort of shifted base and went off to Bangalore or Hyderabad or places like that. But a lot of them now are wanting to come back to Delhi and actually be here with their, you know, family or whatever, you know. So that's working out very well for us. So, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think it's been a great journey since the past 10 years where things have simplified quite a bit. Yeah, and especially also after COVID, we've also learned that work from home works. So yeah, I mean, we have a very small part working from home, but yeah, we take advantage of that, yes.
So Akhilesh, very quickly on that point, how does work from home work for you?
For the design team, it doesn't. We tried it. You know, COVID forced everyone to start working from home. And initially, we were really gung-ho about it because nobody needed to commute. And a lot of my team members come from the extended NCR region. They have an hour-and-a-half long commute. So it can be quite taxing. And now no one's late. Everyone's sharp online at times. So, but design collaborations, as time went by, it found that the communication gaps would emerge. It became more difficult. For work which was more solo in nature, like programming, UI development, etc., it became, that's something that it still happens in remotely for us, and it works out. Yeah.
So is hiring still a challenge for you?
Sorry?
Is hiring still a challenge for you?
Hiring, I think hiring must be a challenge for everyone. So mostly my challenge is finding, you know, we are a design-focused studio. And finding the right design culture is difficult. So it's just mostly a question of going through hundreds of candidates till we find the right culture fit. The skill gap, as you pointed out, I think that's less of a challenge for me. And it's mostly cultural, getting the right people in the game.
Okay, I'll open this up for all three of you. So like Damini said that, you know, there's a local ecosystem of tier 2 cities around, which is also a great source. Dipender, your thoughts also, and all of you. So how is that changing the whole hiring scene?
Well, for us, I have seen this, that hiring from tier 2, tier 3 cities is actually good. We find good talent there, and they are also affordable, and they're very smart and hardworking people. So that works for us at least.
Some of the talent I've interviewed are so smart that it's humbling. They're just lacking experience. And of course, skill sets, because the education is not of caliber. But now a lot of instruction and content is there on the net. And for someone who's really passionate, they turn up picking up a lot on their own. And I'm happy to pick them up young and nurture them. We've got a big population, some really, really sharp people out there. So finding smart people has not been a problem. Finding people who want to build quality games is more of a problem. I think the culture is to churn out games quickly, put out whatever is good enough. So that mindset is very difficult for me to fight with.
And I think actually this is an experience that our fellow studios from other cities can also pick up, because this tier 2, tier 3 landscape is shaping up pretty well all across India.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Damini, how has hiring changed for you post-pandemic?
Post-pandemic, like I said, work from home came into force, and that really helped because we were now able to hire people from Bangalore, from Pune. I mean, there are always issues to sort of have that perfect collaboration where you have a developer sitting away and your UI team sitting somewhere else. I mean, there is confusion, there is some, things that need to be ironed out, but it works out. It works out. I mean, because they're smart people, like you've been saying. So yeah.
So, but would that imply that there is some kind of talent deficit around Delhi NCR?
So not a deficit, but I would say a little limited. So yeah, I mean, but again, then the neighboring cities are able to fill that up. And again, like I've been seeing that trend where people are actually wanting to come back to Delhi. So that really makes a lot of a difference, yes.
So basically what I'm hearing from all three of you is that hiring used to be a challenge in NCR, but with
it's
people
getting better,
coming
yes.
back and local, like tier 2, tier cities, it's getting better, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Akhilesh, you made a very good point about culture, right? How do you think that's evolving in this ecosystem? And if there's anything we can do to sort of push that forward?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. So I worked in different industries and very different cultures. Before this, I was in manufacturing. People showed up on time. I didn't need to buy them breakfast to get them out. I didn't have mothers calling me up at 9 p.m. that, are you going to send my son home? This is new. I never had people missing work because they're depressed, that I give them a sharp criticism. This is new experience for me, working with in a very high pressure design environment. So I don't know how it has changed over a period of time. But I think if we had educational programs that were focused on design thinking, specifically in the gaming industry, that would really help. I interview candidates that have very good analytical skills, problem solving, math, they can do programming, game designers. But if I talk to them about a framework to use to dissect a game, how do you analyze what is fun? There is no systemic approach to it. It's generally conversations like, we'll put it in and see. And that's very expensive to prototype. And this comes from very sharp and smart people. So it shows that the work culture before that has not had the rigor. And if that happens in college, it'll be great. But
so how do you address it at your studio?
I think if they survive the first 2 months, it kind of addresses itself. Most people have not got anything approved for at least a year and a half. If my art director was here, he'll tell you he's quit at least 3 or 4 times in the last 7 years. And my lead artist, he's never quit to me, but I'm sure he has told the art director that he doesn't want to work here anymore. I had a very interesting case where someone left us and they got a much better offer, I think 2 or 3x salary nearby in NCR. And the other reason for leaving that he shared with his immediate supervisor is that in a year and a half, he's a VFX artist and nothing got approved. And it just sucks. It makes him feel like shit. Sorry for the language. After 2 months there, he petitioned to come back at lesser pay. And so I asked him what gives. He said, look, they approve everything. And I can't handle that. I once purposely made something bad. I got things from the net and I just passed it off and they're happy with it. I can't handle that anymore. I want to be back in this culture. So I think if they stay, the people who are a good fit for us, they're very happy. And I have very low attrition rate. My core team members have been there for 7-8 years. And those who are not meant for this kind of work, they exit early on their own.
Is it the same for you, Damini?
That's a lot of tough love, I must say. No, so I mean, we're not so much into tough love, but I think we're more relaxed. Our culture is fun, relax, enjoy yourself, and then, do your work. Attrition rate is barely anything for us too. So that is something we work on. And less of tough love for sure. It doesn't take us 1.5 years to approve things, but it takes its own time. We have our processes for sure, but it's not that tough.
So Dipender, on that spectrum of tough love and lots of love, where is Dunali?
Well, at Dunali Games, it's kind of a journey. I see every other employee has a different experience with me, because we're a very small team and we work on lots of things. So we do come up with different strategies, and everybody comes up with their own inputs. And we have had lots of mixed experiences, as these guys have mentioned. Some people, and just parents calling, that has happened with me also. Like, okay.
No, not with us.
Yeah. So, and regarding the design thinking, I believe one thing that Delhi needs is we need more schools and that do these kinds of courses, because design thinking comes up with the experience. More you make games, more you will think in that direction. So even for freshers, it's very hard. But if they have been doing this for college, they had a professional education, and they have been doing like college projects and done some internships, then it takes some time to evolve into that. So that's one, I think, point I want to add.
Experience matters at the end of the day. Yeah.
For design, definitely experience matters.
Absolutely. And then, I feel we've been around for so many years. So if we do get in these freshers and, people who want and have the right mindset, we're there to nurture. We're there to teach, and we're there to nurture. It's everything. Of course, at the end of the day, everything is business, but this is also part of it. Yeah, growing your ecosystem and being able to nurture your team and the people around you, I think that gives us great satisfaction at the end of the day.
So Delhi has a pretty active game developer community scene, and it's just like growing very fast as well. How has that helped any of you in your development journey so far?
Well, I won't say it's very fast, but I think it should be faster. For example,
exactly.
like Damini here, she's in Gurgaon. Before this panel, I didn't know she existed. So that's
exactly.
That's a very bad thing,
we
actually.
We didn't know each other, which is terrible.
And same here. I have met some of your teammates, but I didn't know about you. So the thing is this, like, we need more networking in Delhi, definitely. And as we were talking earlier about the ecosystem, we are pretty far away from the ecosystem. Maybe like, she's a grown up now in this industry. We are still children. And we need more hand-holding. We feel this, that whenever we want to meet even more developers, we have to travel to Hyderabad for IGDC. Right here, we need some more meetups. We need to meet more developers, and of course, more publishers and investors need to be in Delhi. And again, most schools and colleges need to be in Delhi.
So, Dipender, the Jedis are listening. Are you suggesting we move IGDC to Delhi?
It should happen. Why should we always travel there? let them call here.
So we can always do it alternately.
Yeah, they should change cities at least.
I know, you should change cities like every year or so. And totally, Jedi was something I think we clapped for the hardest, because we're like, finally, maybe we'll be able to hire even better now. So definitely hoping for something really great coming out of that.
Yeah, and with the community, how it has helped, then yes, I have met more developers, and since then last 2 years we have been doing some meetups, and I have met more people, and that has really helped. And in understanding what the industry is doing, people share their experiences. That really shows us. Without making the same mistakes that others have done, it's very important to network with people.
So very quickly touching upon the point about the ecosystem, Akhilesh, you're building something which is very specifically positioned for the Western European market, right? Does the ecosystem in India really matter to you?
No.
So in that case, how do you look at the ecosystem, and what would be your recommendations to us?
So when I said no, I'd like to qualify that. A lot of my work I'm now outsourcing abroad, which is very expensive. And also because the Indian government gets me to pay 20% tax, because those guys won't pay it here, that makes it even more expensive. I would have preferred to have a local partner. It would be easier to work with someone in the same time zone, but I don't find that quality here, so I'm forced to go abroad.
Ecosystem matters.
Yes. What I meant is, in the immediate future, I don't find the value here, but yes, I'd love to have it here. And the impression is that anyone who's really talented, they tend to leave the country because they don't get the work that they want here. And that becomes a chicken and egg situation. It's difficult to build a studio to do, cutting edge work because you don't have talent here, and then it's just a, self-feeding feature. But my newest team member, he's from Bangalore. We got him to move from Bangalore to Delhi. So, and I hired him, and when I was interviewing him, the first thing he told me is that I chose not to go to college. It's such a waste of time. And he had just cleared the interview half there itself with me. So there are lots of colleges, right? But there aren't instructors. I've hired people who've been teaching in colleges and they don't know much, unfortunately. And I know that it's not practical. We can't expect that just, all of us here will, and hundreds of good instructors will just emerge tomorrow. So how would we overcome this challenge? It sounds like a very big challenge to me. I'm not sure how we can attack it.
No, but kudos on convincing someone to move from Bangalore to Delhi. Was it the water situation that helped?
Sorry?
I hope not.
Yeah, no, I told him I'm also a college dropout. We connected there. No, I would say, most people don't work. There are not too many PC game, hardcore PC game opportunities in India. So anyone who wants to be here in that kind of environment, we are a rare opportunity. So for us, it's not been that hard attracting talent from around the world. And I think maybe contrary to expectation, I have found work culture. Most of my team members are from Delhi, NCR region, and the work culture is excellent. I would not, if I had unlimited budget, to go hunting for talent globally to maybe make the next Civilization 6 competitor. I would not look for a team anywhere else but the people I have here. So they are really, really sharp and good, and I'm not missing Bangalore ecosystem here at all.
No, that's wonderful. and we are glad we have studios like Immersive in NCR that can confidently say that. Very quickly, Damini and Dipender, how has been the local partner scene for you guys been?
So, like I said, in my studio, we do everything from scratch ourselves. So we haven't really had any local partners as such. We don't really outsource anything, right from the ideation to the GDD to right from development and even publishing. We do it all ourselves. So yeah. I mean, it's...
Yeah, being bootstrapped means we have to do a lot of things in-house.
Exactly, yes. We're bootstrapped too.
Yeah, we have tried a lot of local partnering. Sometimes they were good experiences, sometimes they were bad, but as a thumb rule, we don't go for that.
So we'll open up for audience questions now. But before that, just one quick summary from each one of you, starting from Dipender. How are you developing for the world from Delhi?
Well, I'll share an experience here. I went to Helsinki in Pocket Gamer Connect a couple of years back, and I was the only Indian standing there. And people asked me this question, like, we don't see a lot of Indians. And I was like, just wait, you will have more Indians. And I think developing for Delhi is a very small step in that direction. And these guys are making global games. I believe they would be and someday we would also be able to stand on a global platform and say, yes, we are making games for the world from Delhi.
Akhilesh?
Just waiting for them to. With patience. So I build in a lot of time for nurturing the talent so they can learn on the job. And so when I got into this industry with an intent to build, I recognize that what I'm banking on is our large population, that there are going to be really, really, really smart people here. But we'll need to give them time and nurture them. So I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, when we began about 10 years before, I mean, there wasn't really much of an Indian gaming scene per se, right? So at that time, making a game meant you're making it for the global audience. So that's how we began. And I mean, not that I'm saying it's very easy, to do it, especially for the kind of games that we make, to understand the sensibilities of a foreign land, especially, I mean, you're not born and brought up there to understand what kind of car cultures are running in various regions, what the right side driving and the left side driving, and all of that R&D and everything. I think it takes a lot of time and effort to actually build and understand, to build for a global audience sitting here in Delhi with all its hiring issues and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, and now, yes, all the data privacy challenges that we are being thrown at, all the time. Every city, every state, every country seems to have their own, law that we have to maneuver. But yeah, at the end, I just want to say that this is how we started. This is what we know. This is what we love, and global audience is the way for us. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Damini. Thanks, Akhilesh. Thanks, Dipender. We have a couple of minutes left. Any questions from the audience?
Hi, I'm from the school which you people have been saying probably you need more. So I come from Equal Intuit Lab, Delhi. We have a program in game design, and one of our ways to keep in touch with the industry is we call a lot of visiting faculty from the industry. But it's a very hard task. Typically, many of them we have got them in, and after a few months, they say we are going off to Bangalore. So we have been having numbers come in, and the faculty members are moving out. I mean, we call them faculty members. So I'm just wondering, I mean, that's something we intend to continue, because we think, at least in this space or the domain, we really need to be current all the time. Lot of technology innovations happening, many things. So how do you suggest that we get our students current, and how do we get them to really be immersed, almost immersed by the time they leave, so that they can move seamlessly into the industry?
You want to take that?
So I would say maybe we could look at some internships or something where we can, people can come in and mentor, understand from them what they want to actually get into, the fields that they want to get into, and yeah, I mean, internship would be something that I think should help.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for industry professionals to actually come to institutes and full-time teach there, but that's what actually needed, right? So it's better to bring the talent to them. So I think some mentorship programs, as she suggested, and internships would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So
And mentorship even for your faculties can also be done, right? At some bigger studios who can update your faculty also with the latest trends in the industry.
Yeah,
Right.
we can have meetups and all with the faculty members.
Can I take a moment
Sure.
to add to that? I think the biggest, my name is Nalin Savara. I come from I run a company called Dark Sun Tech, which has been into apps and games since the mid 2000s. Ma'am, I think one of the things you can inculcate in your students is the value of craftsmanship. Like, there was a youngster my company was working with. He said he had been complaining that, look, they give us work and they don't give us feedback. They don't even tell us why we were not selected. So I said, okay, I mentored him a bit, and I said that, okay, now make these changes to my code base. They're just 30 or 40 lines of code. And he kept procrastinating, and he said, well, I don't know if it adds value for me, so I'll not touch that code base. I'll not do even these 30 or 40 lines of code. In spite of the fact that we had spent several hours bringing him up to speed and telling him and teaching him the relevance of that work. So one of the things that students need to be taught is that when they are being entrusted with responsibility, when they are building something, then what they are building is what is going to touch tens of thousands of people or millions of people. So if they imbibe that spirit of craftsmanship, they respect the chance to deliver their work and ship their work. Steve Jobs once said that real artists ship, that they don't just create art, but they take the pains to make sure that the art is able to reach the end user. And that is how the Macintosh UI and the Macintosh came into the world. So that spirit has to be imbibed by you in the students. And I don't know how you, or the specifics of it, but I think that is very important.
Thanks, Sunil. To add to that, ma'am, I think having student bodies within your institution, game development cells and stuff like that will also help. I think IGDC is already running a program to support that. So that's also something you should look at.
Right. Can I also just ask one? Would you consider visiting colleges to just give a master talk? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we can do workshops.
Because they really need role models to look up to also.
Oh, definitely,
It's
workshops
like
can be
once
done.
a year.
Yeah, workshops might be done.
Where is
Don't
your
connect with
campus?
Students, then it's all the colleges chasing the industry and really not working.
Where is your campus? Where's the campus? That's not far from where is the... Yeah,
They're the
distance was
best people for
I'm very
this.
lazy. I
No,
don't...
Gurgaon,
most people
Delhi
don't
distances
know.
So
matter.
we can take this offline. There's another question waiting for us. Please. Ma'am, we'll take this offline. There's another question waiting.
Hello everyone, I'm Ishan Kaushik and I'm actually from Ecole in Tweet Lab. So I just wanted to know as a student, like Dipender sir mentioned and even ma'am agreed that there should be more design school because that will help the future in the right direction, right? And sir just mentioned that he was having an interview and when the guy said he's not in support or he doesn't approve of these colleges, you said that he got the job or he was, already 80% in. So as a student, what should be my belief in, like,
No,
are
sorry.
these colleges
better he
That's a great question.
First, let me apologize. I didn't intend to portray it in that way. What he said is the quality he wanted to learn, he didn't find it in the curriculum. So he self-taught and he found himself an advisor abroad. And then, of course, we hired him because he cleared our test and we were really impressed with what he did. I do think that maybe, I'm very sorry, maybe colleges are not as important in today's day and age where there is so much information available for free online that someone who wants to learn can get a lot out of it. And that's all I intended to say. Maybe colleges would need to evolve and become less about content and more about interaction with experienced faculties who can guide them. I don't know.
I guess theory and practical is about it all, right?
I'll add to that. It's not just about what the college is teaching. Definitely that needs to be improved and there's a gap that needs to be filled. But college is also about the ecosystem. Like everybody around you is talking games. Like the batch I am from, I'm the only game developer from my college batch. Okay, and there was a point in time when I wanted to get into game dev. I thought of joining a college, not because I wanted to learn, because I wanted that culture. Everybody around me should be talking the same language. So that's very important.
Do we have time for one more question? There was one behind.
Last, but it'll only take 1 minute. Huh?
Okay, last question.
So 10 words question, quick answer. Yeah.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Does this work? Okay, great. So, this is good. I have a small question, kind of. So, I am a big believer in the cheat sheet system, which is once you understand a concept, you have a small cheat sheet that you can just look to it. So, this is my cheat sheet question. And when you guys will be replying, I'll be writing on my phone, so don't mind. My cheat sheet question for you guys is, what's your big red flags and green flags when you're hiring people? That, sir, I've already gotten your red flag, so I'll be telling you that I've also skipped college anyways. But but the few, you would say the 3 green flags and the 3 red flags that immediately you see and you say, okay, this guy is probably going to be hired or this guy is not going to be hired. So what would you tell us regarding this?
So one thing that we look at is if somebody is very, jumping jobs too often, we don't understand that much. We feel, every 6 months if you're jumping, I don't think you're adding value to the company or to yourself. So that is something we are not too happy about. And we basically look at if the person is excited about gaming and is interested to know more and learn more. These are my 2 points that we look at.
I thought you already knew mine.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just add, then you can. So for me, it's one of the things that the culture thing that Akhilesh was talking about. It's very important to see in the candidate that whether is somebody who can take ownership. Right, when as Naren was talking about that craftsmanship, I will change the word with ownership. People have this attitude, and I don't know where this comes from, that it's not my job kind of an attitude. That's not right, especially in small teams. And in India, you're more likely to be hired in a small team than a big established studio. So you should, as a student, you should come out of this mindset that I will just do this. This is only my job. As broad your experience and your skills go, it's easier to enter. Later on, you can specialize as your studio grows or as your career grows. But in the beginning, you should be like a jack of all trades.
To add to that, in my experience, my red flags have always been lack of green flags. And I've been very liberal with green flags. Inquisitiveness, ownership, like Dipender mentioned, and the ability to learn something quickly is what has always been a green flag for me.
Yeah, portfolio, definitely. Portfolio you should have.
With the resume, because these are not even bring a resume. Just show up for interview.
Yeah, regarding the portfolio, I'll just say some people send their games. It's better to send your games as in recorded format. Give us videos. Don't give me a APK or a build to download. I won't do that. I'll never do that. If I see a video, it's much faster.
Agreed, definitely.
मेरा थोड़ा सा अलग है.
You can always do a hands-on, but a video gives you the very first impression.
We want source code of your project.
You can do, but the very first impression is via the video.
With video, with portfolio, you don't know what the guy has done.
Kinshuk, that will be a red flag they might look at.
That's okay. Are they inquisitive enough to do it?
Well, thank you guys. Really fun session. Thank you, Kinshuk. Thank you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Really
Thank
fun.
you, everyone.